and welcome to the Masterclass for the Return to the Source. Today we will have as our special guest Sister Jayanti, and we are just touched that Sister Jayanti is joining us from Madhuban today, and I will have her share her own experience on how she's reached there and how this was able to occur today still. And so we're happy to have you all join. I'm just going to start with a few announcements. This will be the second month that we're going into the Return to the Source. Thank you so much for your amazing feedback that we've been receiving and how amazing your experiences have been. I can only share just for myself, just being part of getting this out to all of you and how inspirational it has been for me. And so I can't imagine the experiences you all are having in your efforts. And I do know that there's a lot of information that we are sharing with you. And part of that is because we know that everybody receives and understands and learns information in their own way. And so we have several outlets for you to begin to explore the journey of returning to the source. And I just wanted to go through those with you and also let you know where you can find the information, how you can get in touch with us if you're having a problem finding it. And so we have a wonderful website, sustenance.brahmakumaris.org, which is regularly updated with all the information that we are using to go on to this journey to return to the source. And it's available in a variety of languages. Also, Facebook is updated regularly with some of the information that you're looking for. And the other way is to feel free to email us if you have any questions. You can email us from the website. You can email us directly, sustenance@brahmakumaris.org, and we'd be happy to get any information it is that you may need. We will be starting each month with the Masterclass. We are starting this time with Sister Jayanti, who is going to take us into the topic of the month. And after the Masterclass is completed, we will then be sharing with you a recording of the Masterclass as well as a write-up for the month. And that write-up will serve to help you go deeper into that topic for the month. After that, on Monday, you will be receiving 7 days of meditation. It will just be for 7 days straight. And they are creative meditations to help you go into that experience. And they were created with Baptada's drill, which is included in there. And it's really a beautiful experience to focus very much more on the feeling of hearing Baba's voice and tone and the feeling behind it. However, the translated portion of that will be available as well. And then each week, we'll also be sending you a question, a reflective comment, and a thought to go deeper into that experience. So all that information will be sent to you either through an email, will be updated on the website, or on Facebook. Just the last note about the email. In order to receive the emails, you have to subscribe to the email list, which you can do on the website. However, if you're forwarding the email to a lot of people and maybe they didn't request to receive those emails, it's possible that they accidentally unsubscribe you from the email yourself. So if you want to encourage someone to receive these emails, it's best you have them subscribe themselves to make sure that you do not get unsubscribed from receiving the email. And I'll be happy to assist you with that if you have any questions. I hope that I was able to give you some information to find whatever it is you're looking for. But if you're not able to, please feel free to reach out to us and we'll get it to you. I wish you a wonderful journey on the Return to the Source, and I'd like to welcome Sister Shireen to get us started on the webinar. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're in the world. Welcome to our second series of masterclasses on the inward-facing portion of the program on Return to the Source. And this month, that is the following 4 weeks, so June and some part of July, the topic is Shiv Shakti. We are extremely fortunate to have with us a master at being a Shiv Shakti in her practical life, Sister Jayanti. We welcome Sister Jayanti to this masterclass. Welcome, Jayanti Ben. She will speak to us on being a Shiv Shakti and how to naturally and easily be combined with Baba and take strength from him. And also, following the masterclass, we do have a question and answer session today. And so if you have any questions, send us your questions via the questions tab. And Marcelo Bai from Colombia, Om Shanti Marcelo Bai, welcome to the webinar. He will be facilitating the question and answer session. Om Shanti Jayanti Ben, welcome.
Happy to connect with you and through you to the whole wide world of the Brahmin family. And yes, it's my great fortune to be in Madhuban. The reason that I came was not so brilliant, but it's drama. On Thursday morning, I came upstairs after morning class and I heard that Sarla Dede had flown away. And within minutes, a group of us were sitting together, sisters from Global House. It was decided that I should come to Madhuban because Dadi doesn't get here for the next couple of days. And so it was difficult to have Dadi come for various reasons, but Dadi was very, very happy that the sisters had decided that I should come. So I took leave from her and brought Dadi's love and greetings and sweet memories of Sarla Dede to Madhuban. Friday was the cremation, but a very lovely memorial. It was like lying in state in front of Tapasya Dham. You have to know that Shantivan is 43 degrees Celsius currently, but everybody was there. We were in a tent, so that was fine. And after tributes and honors and lots of loving flowers and so on, we went to Mukti Dham, which is a place which is the cremation place. And I was seeing this for the first time, but it's done in a very elegant and royal way. There's a big plinth for the pyre and many, many Brahmins. It must have been hundreds and hundreds who came from Gujarat in particular, but also seniors from all over India and a few from abroad had come. So here we are now thinking about how the advance party is moving forward so fast, and Baba is claiming rights over many souls to bring them away from the corporeal into the subtle arena of service. And it's a reminder that we have to really play that role of the Shiv Shaktis. But I also want to welcome all my brothers, and I don't know how many brothers we have listening, but I want to let you know that you're very much included in this theme of Shiv Shakti. So please don't think it's only a class for the sisters. It's definitely for you too. I was thinking that, in fact, all souls go through the same transition. We've all been Sita. None of us were Rama, but we were all Sitas, caught up in the bondage of Ravan, and Baba came and liberated us from that bondage. And the next step was that we were the ones who fell in love with God, and so we became the Gops and Gopis, the ones who've experienced God's love, the ones who dance to the tune of the Murali every day. And as we dance to the tune of the Murali and we recognize the Father, the Teacher, and we come to the recognition of the Satguru, the one who fills us with power and strength, the Shakti. And so my brothers and my sisters, all of you are part of the Shiv Shakti army. And the Shakti is that energy that comes directly from God and is able to give us the inspiration to conquer all negativity. Yes, the negativity within the self, the negativity in terms of whatever it is that we are facing in terms of challenges and difficulties, but also ultimately to be so combined with God, with Shiv Baba, that the Shiv Shakti form is able to eliminate all the darkness, all the evil from the world. Can you imagine a huge, huge task that we would say is actually impossible? But with God's power, not my power, your power, or this one or the other one, but the Shiv Shakti is the direct embodiment of God's power on earth. And so the whole Shakti army is the whole family together. And together we're able to conquer all the evil. It's interesting that the names of the Shaktis have been connected either with Shiva or with Brahma. And I won't take you into the details of Bhakti, but very beautiful memorials of the Shiv Shaktis. But in essence, it is that we took birth through Brahma Baba, from Shiv Baba, and today we're experiencing how God's power has brought us to the point where we are at now in our own personal journey. But we're also seeing how God's power has been eliminating the darkness and the negativity around us so that we continue to shine and radiate the golden light of who we are. Without God's power, it wouldn't be possible to conquer even one of the vices, never mind all 10 of them, because the 5 big ones and the 5 little ones, that's a lot of things to deal with. But God's power has brought about change, and I know from my own experience that where I'm at today, it's only God's power that could have brought me here. Even that decision to become surrendered and to come and stay in a center, and I know that it's not necessarily the choice for everyone, and nor would Baba recommend it for everyone. Baba needs each one who's playing a very particular individual role to continue with that role. But certainly for me, it was that decision to come and be in a center. And it means you're opening yourself up. You're opening yourself up to the students, to your companions, your colleagues, and also to the world, because they see that you've made a very conscious choice of your lifestyle. And it's God's power that gave us the courage to make that choice, but it's also God's power that's keeping us on track. And a word about those who live out there as lotuses in the world of negativity. It takes a lot of courage to say to Baba, yes, Baba, I am yours, you are mine, I will follow the path of purity, and to know with total confidence that God's power is going to keep you safe from everything that's going on around you outside. So all credit to those souls too. So the Shakti form combined with Shiva, a very beautiful image of God's power working through each and every one of us. And on a personal level, not just thinking about the journey I've had so far, but also thinking about the world today as it is now, and so many challenges that create a lot of turmoil in people. Today's Murli was very apt, as usual, of course, and today Baba mentioning the upheaval that's all around. And of course, on one level, it was still the upheaval after Indira Gandhi's assassination and all the upheaval that began in Punjab and continued for a long time. But also something else had happened in Bharat, and that was the explosion at the Carbide Union factory in Bhopal. And that was a huge, huge disaster. I don't want to remember the details of that, but this is why Baba was talking about the situation of hundreds and hundreds suddenly leaving. And so Baba's main point within all of that is, how do you face these things? Are you able to stay in a state of calm and inner power and dignity, knowing that God is with you? Or is it that these situations create upheaval? And even today, thinking about that situation, it would be so easy just to feel righteous anger. And of course, there isn't such a thing. There's only unrighteous anger. But yes, one can see the injustice of these situations. And so what do? And Baba's reminding me, first and foremost, create that stage of stability within yourself and keep Baba with you so that in a natural way, the combined form is there so that then you're not facing a situation alone. And one can say, well, that happened then. But there are similar situations that keep occurring. And I think the speed with which they're occurring today, whether it's natural disasters or human-created disasters, either, all those situations can cause us a huge amount of grief. But there's a very powerful image of the Shiv Shaktis. They say that the Shaktis carry all the weapons, and so yes, they have that capacity to destroy evil. But together with that, they always show the Shaktis with eyes filled with tenderness, filled with love, filled with compassion. And so this very interesting combination which comes from God, God's love, God's power, God's compassion, but also God, the being who is the truth. And of course, last week was this wonderful combination of love and truth that we heard about. But just thinking about the situation that we are facing now, whatever it is that comes my way, can I maintain that awareness of understanding what is just, what is truth, but also being able to have that stage in which I maintain good wishes for all. Baba's point was very much, you can't be partial, you can't be selective. It has to be good wishes for everyone, not just one part of the equation. If I get into the story of victim and perpetrator, victim and oppressor, then I'm going to find myself fluctuating. But no, this is the end of Kali Yuga. Baba has told me what's going to happen, and what I need to do is to stay in my Shiv Shakti form, in that form combined with God, in which truly I can see the injustice, but yet I'm able to maintain pure, loving, good wishes for each and every soul. And the more I practice this in my consciousness today, keeping that balance of both of these qualities, on the one side the power, but on the other side the compassion, then in that state, whatever little things come my way today, I'll have victory. But I know that it's a preparation for the big things that are surely going to happen. I don't know where I'll be. I don't know when that will happen, but I know for sure it will happen. It's like when there's a student preparing. It's good that we have regular tests along the way. Otherwise, if you didn't have those tests along the way, you just had that one big examination at the end, it would be a bit scary. But the little tests along the way mean that the student can get to know what's going on inside of herself, himself. They're able to see, are they maintaining stability and keeping clear all the answers, and are able to get on with the paper without any upheaval or fluctuation or fear or anxiety. And so the little tests that come in front of us now, negative scenes, maybe in traffic, some driver in front of me behaves very badly, but it's a near miss, but it is a miss, but it's a near miss. And my heart is racing and something really tragic could have happened, but it's okay. God's protection and everyone is safe. But what happened at that moment? Was I in my combined form as I watched that scene? Was I able to take quick action so that there was safety for all, even though the other person was behaving in a crazy way? Because we're surrounded by craziness in some form or another nowadays, in every corner of the world. And so little things like this. Was I able to maintain my loving, combined form with Baba? Or did I hurl a few insults on this person who behaved badly? A little thing, you'd say, but it can happen anytime, anywhere. But also it could have been a very big thing too. But my stability, was I able to maintain that? And afterwards, what happened then? Were there 1,000 waste thoughts? Or was I able to, like Baba said today, have the power to merge? Was I able to say full stop and not allow waste thoughts to trouble me and drain me of my energy? It's a very powerful image, Shiva and Shakti, but not just the image, it's the experience. Am I able to keep Shiv Baba with me to such an extent that nothing but nothing can separate us? You know, when sugar dissolves in water, you can't separate the water and the sugar until you go through a whole process again, but it just dissolves. And so Shiv Baba and the soul together, combined, absolutely at one. And so in meditation, I can feel myself merging into God's love. I can also feel myself being surrounded by God's love, but equally God's power. Easy to experience that in yoga, but can I hold that stage, that awareness, as I walk and drive, go shopping, interact with my friends, my sisters, my brothers, my colleagues? When I feel the joy of this closeness with one, I want to stay combined. And when I want something, of course, I'm going to make it happen. When I haven't had a taste of it, it's difficult. But once I've tasted the sweetness and the incredible magic that can happen, I really don't want to let go of this at all. And so this stage of the Shiv Shakti, in which things will come my way, but I fly up above. I don't battle with them, but I fly up above and maintain the stage that I need to maintain. Because this is a little thing. There are bigger things that are lying ahead, and I have to prepare myself. I know that there will be big things, but the preparation time is now. But it can't be forever. It's only for a short time now. Maintaining that state of elevated self-respect and dignity means that with Shiva, I am invincible. Whatever may happen, whatever comes my way, I'm up above. But always, always, not just detached, but loving together with the detachment. If it's just detached, then I'm not engaging in the way that I need to in order to serve. I need detachment, but I also need engagement. And the engagement is when I know that Baba is with me, and it's Baba's energy, Baba's love that has to serve in this situation. I'm also thinking about how the Shiv Shaktis are destroying evil and negativity, but they're also creating the future. There's both things, the destruction and also the task of creation, of establishment. Shiv Baba worked with Brahma Baba, and both combined in a beautiful way to do both things, giving us the power and showing us how to conquer all evil, but also showing us how to serve and create the golden age, that dharma, that religion of righteousness and divinity, which is a way of life. And so the Shiv Shakti is doing both, destroying all negativity and evil. But my dharma today is also my dharana, the practical application of my awareness in my living day-to-day activity in my life. And so what is my dharana? All the different qualities of the Shaktis have been remembered. The deity of contentment, the deity of coolness, the deity of purity, the deity of truth. List all the divine qualities, and there'll be at least 108 Shaktis whose names have been remembered in that way. And so it's also the task of establishment. I've been fascinated in recent times how when I was young, growing up in India, I hadn't heard about the Shaktis to any great extent because my grandmother came into Raj Yoga when I was 7, 8, around then. And so I didn't see much bhakti going on. But I know that there were certain stories that were related, certain fasts that were kept. But through my teenage years in London, I began hearing about a very specific fast that many had adopted. And that was a fast which was the fast to Santoshi Ma, the mother of contentment, the goddess of contentment. And it fascinates me because I see how contentment is such an important quality to imbibe. And I'm seeing how in modern times, there is never a moment of contentment for people who are out there. I have this, I want something else. I have the other, and I want something else. It's like, winter comes, and I wish it would be warm and it would be summer. And when summer comes, I complain about the heat, and I say, oh, I wish we could go back to winter. And so instead of that appreciation of what the moment offers, what the season is about, and what I am being offered, and to take advantage and benefit from that, it's like the grass is always greener on the other side, and it applies not just in terms of seasons, but it applies in everything. When I'm young, I wish I were older. When I'm older, I wish I were younger. It's just constant. That's the way human beings seem to be. So it seems to be a response to the need of the hour, this incredible devotion for the mother of contentment. But that contentment is just, again, one of those qualities, but a very important one, of course. And so imbibing all the virtues that the Shaktis offer me, Shitalta, the goddess of coolness, purity. Yes, I need that definitely. And so each one of these Shaktis is reminding us of the task of creation. And again, the creation is first and foremost within the self. And through that creation within, then yes, I'm able to demonstrate it in my activity outside also. And hopefully, through my behavior, inspire others. There's a very interesting sentence that Dede Janki has been saying a lot recently. She says to us, Gyan is understanding and knowledge, yes, but Gyan is not just for my own intellect, Gyan is for my life. I can't say I'm a Gyani soul, an enlightened soul, unless I'm demonstrating the Gyan in my life. And so the dharana of the Shiv Shakti, all the different divine virtues that have been remembered, so that then together we can establish that world of the golden age, that world in which truth will reign. And of course now, yes, the challenges that are still ahead. And one of the big challenges is maintaining a balance, not just the balance of truth and compassion, but for example, the balance of humility and dignity, self-respect. Greatness is always visible through humility. Mahanta hi namrata hai. Mahanta, greatness, Namrata, humility. The two Hindi words go together very well. And think about Dadi Ji, Dadi Janki, Dadi Gulzar, any of the Dadis. Of course, many of those who are listening have seen Avyak Bab Dada, but not Sakar Baba. But Sakar Baba also, the embodiment of tremendous humility. It comes through in the Sakar Murlis again and again, but also dignity, Baba's personality. You could see the Emperor Narayan in the simple form of Brahma Baba even. The way Baba walked and held his head up high and was able to give so much to every individual. The Emperor, the Great One, giving, and yet total humility. And to the Shiv Shakti, yes, this is the model. We can become Bap Saman. We can follow the incorporeal one, and we can follow the corporeal one. Following the incorporeal one, being with Shiv Baba, I'm absorbing from Shiv Baba the light, the might, the power, the detachment, the love, the truth, but also Brahma Baba, following in the Father's footstep and seeing how Brahma Baba had this amazingly beautiful role with Shiv Baba, and he played with Shiv Baba. He joked with Shiv Baba, demanding his rent from Shiv Baba. I'm sure that it's not just Shiv Baba who says, I have to give rent to my chariot, but I'm sure that the landlady, the chariot, said, hey, come on, what rent are you going to give me? And so do I have such a sweet and kind and beautiful, respectful, but loving and playful relationship with both. Both are my guides, both are with me. When I say Shiv Shakti, then yes, Brahma Baba is very much merged within us also. Baba's gentleness, Baba's power, Baba's total surrender to God. So do all of these things come through in the way in which I interact with my equals? It's easy to have love for God, easy to have love for Brahma Baba and the Dadis, but how much do I love those who are my companions? And so the Shiv Shakti army has to be together, filled with love, knowing that this task is bigger than one individual. And God wants all of us to work together in his army. And the whole army walks in step with each other. And so the loving bond that exists in our relationship, as I play my role as Shiv Shakti, I'm very aware that I'm part of this amazingly beautiful army. And so let me experience that also. But what about sanskars? The sanskars of Kali Yuga, where are they? I hope with God's power, Shiva's power, they're a thing of the past and will emerge only in 5,000 years' time and not before. But Shiva's power, also all the qualities of the deity world created within me so that I demonstrate that transformation in my own life. So these are some of the feelings and thoughts about this very powerful image of Shiv Shakti. And I'm opening up to Marcelo Bhai to see where he wants to take this further.
Om Shanti Jayanti Ben, Om Shanti everyone. Thank you very much. I think your class was so beautiful. I mean, you took many aspects of Shiv Shakti, and thank you for including brothers and everybody, of course. So, so it was great to hear from you all of that. Yeah, there are a couple of questions here, and one question from Sister Vandana. So how does one know that is growing or not in the Shiv Shakti form accurately?
The closer I am to Baba and feel Baba's presence with me, the more I know I have access to all that Baba is and has. I have a right to all that treasure store. And so day by day, that sense of closeness to Baba and connection with Baba in a very deep and constant way, natural way, means that yes, I'm moving forward as a Shiv Shakti. And of course, then that will show within the intoxication in my face, the stability of my awareness and consciousness, and my mood and my behavior, my tone of voice. All of these will be an indication to me and to others about what's going on in my own inner world. And Baba often picks up on sometimes. So yes, I feel close to Baba sometimes, and then sometimes far away. Then sometimes my mood is okay, sometimes it's not. And Baba really wants us to stop this fluctuation of one day here and one day there and just make it stable and constant.
Thank you. Another question is, you talked a lot about balance. And when I came to Gyan, that was a subject that people were talking many times about the power of the Shakti, but also the tenderness, the compassion, etc. So how to reach that balance? Because normally when you are facing a challenge, either you tend to be too forceful or too patient, and the challenge doesn't solve it by itself. So how to reach that point, that magical point you were mentioning with all the goddesses, etc.?
You learn from experience. You learn that too much patience and the opportunity and the moment can be lost. But also you learn that, as you said, too much force, and instead of being able to resolve a situation, it creates more of a problem. And so having learned from all of these experiences, and it's not a question of years and years and years, but it's a question of remembering what I've learned from my experience and using that and continuing to develop it. And so today, at this moment, if I'm connected with Baba, feeling that combined form with Baba, then I know that the right moment, the right touching, and it'll be fine.
Okay, thanks. Now we have to practice that. Sister Gent, when, well, I'm here still in Peace Village, so we had a few days ago Dede with us. It was amazing, it was really powerful. But one comment that was running around, it was how Dede was able to serve so many souls. We had more than 1,000, I think, people at some time, 2 days. So how she was able to serve so many without properly speaking much, you know. She was just there, just her presence. And I think it's a big sign of a Shiv Shakti. So I would like to ask you, from your point of view, how to develop that stage when I'm able to connect to that big source, to Baba, and give others without speaking too much or without doing too much, but just by the presence.
I've also been observing that myself and Dede over the last month. We had the good fortune of having Dede for about a month with us. And I think that one of the ingredients is a clean, clear intellect connected with Baba, so that when she looks at somebody, it's not just her that's looking at you, but it's like she's using Baba's energy to see the soul, and Baba is able to work through her and give the soul what it needs. I've known Daddy for 60 years. That's most of my life. 62 years, actually, to be precise now. And so I know that it's not always been like that, but it's been something that she's been developing. And today, yes, she doesn't need to give a half an hour class or an hour's bhakti, even just within a few moments of giving drishti, the soul, the other, is able to receive what they need. Not what Daddy wants to give, but it's like Baba is there and they're getting what they need. I keep seeing this in many, many situations. And I really think it's because of her clear connection with God and her total desireless stage. She wants nothing for herself. She's just letting Baba work through her and reach the other. And of course, God knows absolutely what the other one needs. I've also thought about this, as you can imagine, and it's a beautiful stage to achieve. And it sounds as if it's a very easy thing, just sit there and let things happen. But of course, there's been a lot of work put in prior to that, in which everything has become sparkling clean, really, so that it's shining with that purity. The mind, the intellect, the awareness, the sanskars, all this has been cleaned, so that then God can work through that clean instrument.
Thanks. We have another question from Sister Belen. She's asking, what's the relationship between benevolence and Shakti?
Today, Baba spoke about having nothing but good wishes for all. And that means having pure thoughts, elevated thoughts, benevolent thoughts. Benevolence in the sense that I want nothing but benefit for others. I don't want anything for myself, but I want benefit for the other. And this is definitely the role of the Shakti, being able to take that power and just be able to give whatever it is that the other one needs. And so I think Shakti is the embodiment of benevolence. The name Shiva itself means the benevolent one. And so Shiva combined with the Shakti, that benevolence is the quality that's shining through. And the other individual feels this, that this person, this Shakti, doesn't want anything from me, but they're just simply giving me what it is I need. And they also recognize that it's not just that human, but it's God that's giving them the energy to work through that human. So benevolence is a very important ingredient of the Shakti.
Okay, that's great. Now I have kind of a stream of questions. Many people are asking questions. So let's see how many we can ask during this session, because we want also to have a meditation with you, Sister Jayanti. So Sister Carmen Roca, she's asking you to give an example of a challenging situation in which you experience the power of your combined form.
It's a story that some of you know, but I was in a car accident, and long story, but getting to the essence, it was on the road from the Kumbh Mela, which was happening in Haridwar, and we were heading back to Delhi, and the passengers in the back were Dadi Gulzar, myself in the middle, and Kumari, and in the front was the driver, and it was Brother Gopal. The accident happens, and we are concerned about Dadi Gulzar, and we made sure that she's okay. Her head had hit the back of the front seat, so there seemed to be a little bit of a bump on her forehead, but she was being looked after. We had been coming through a sleepy little village, and it definitely wasn't the driver's fault, but I look around for the driver, and the sleepy village has become now full of people, men, just men. and I can't see the driver, but I can hear this commotion, and this noise is getting stronger and stronger. And it must have been Shiv Baba and the Shiv Shakti at that time. And I just walked into the middle of that gang of men, putting out my arms. I must have been about 22, 23 at that time. And I put out my arms, and my Hindi was very rough and broken, but I just said, stop, stop. The police are coming. And I didn't know that they were, but I just said it. And I think if that intervention hadn't happened, the driver would have been killed, because what they were saying is that you rich people walk into our community and you kill us and all sorts of stuff like this. And it wasn't like that at all. It really wasn't. But anyway, so that was the mantra they were chanting. But I think the shock of seeing a young person in a white sari and saying, stop, stop, just paused. It was like hitting the pause button. And everything just froze for a few moments. But that's all that was needed. Thankfully, the police did come, and they took the driver away. And that was a moment of Shiv Shakti experience. It definitely couldn't have been me thinking on a level of logic, what do I do now? But it was Shiv Shakti form. And Baba at that moment taking over and guiding me what to do.
That was powerful. Thank you very much for sharing. The last question here would be this. Sometimes we are doing something that requires lots of courage and effort. So thoughts become like intense. So how do I realize if that's the thought that's coming is my own, or is Baba that's touching me?
When it's my own thought, then it can waver, and it can also be something that I avoid. I'll put it off and I'll say, well, not now, maybe later. But if it's Baba's thought that's coming, and I know that I on my own couldn't imagine doing this, I really couldn't. And it's Baba, and it's so powerful that I just have to get on with it and do it now. And so I think that that's the way to differentiate. My thoughts can fluctuate, but if it's a thought from Baba, it's just powerful and constant. It will not go away, even though I don't like it, but it's there very powerfully coming back to me again and again.
Thank you very much, Sister Jayanti, for answering the questions. So I pass now to Shirin or Gayatri.
Actually, Marcelo Bai, we were going to finish with meditation with Sister Jayanti. So did we complete all the questions? Marcelo Bai?
We have a few more questions, Helen.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
But we were giving time for Sister Jayanti to do the meditation. But we heard, Sister Jayanti, that you're not feeling too well and your voice is not suitable for a meditation. So would you like to do a meditation? Are you feeling up to it, or do you want to answer more questions?
I don't know how this got communicated. Maybe you could hear my voice breaking, but that was around 20 minutes ago, and it's settled now. You know, there's a little frog that gets into your throat, and now the frog has gone.
Good to hear. So a meditation then.
Yes, indeed. So, everyone sitting comfortably. I go deep inside and connect with the being that I am. I am the Shakti. I am God's child, but also God elevates me to the position of being his companion. It's fortune that I could never ever have imagined, that God would select me to be his companion. And this is what God is offering me now, to stay combined with him so that I can be the Shiv Shakti. In this awareness, the golden light of purity, love and power emanating from Shiv Baba surrounds me. And now I know that nothing can ever separate me from the one I love. This is the love I had searched for through many, many births. And my fortune now is to experience this love. God's love surrounds me, and I immerse myself in this love. And the power of this love is such that all the things of the past are burnt away. God's power of love and truth cleanses the soul. And the soul emerges its own highest Satopradhan stage. I shine and radiate God's light and love. Shiva has liberated me from the things of the past that held me back and weighed me down and set me free. Shiva, the benevolent one, has uplifted me to make the child equal to himself, so that I can be the companion, the Shiv Shakti, and help in his task. Shiv and Shakti together work as one to purify and cleanse the negativity of Kali Yuga. Evil is destroyed and souls are liberated. Shiva and Shakti together with the whole army send out the vibrations of purity to cleanse nature, all the elements, so that harmony is restored between the elements, and harmony is restored between the Shakti and nature. And the Shiv Shakti, with the power of love and light, work to create that world of harmony, of truth and love. Shiv Baba with me, and I with Shiv Baba. And the combination is the combination that finishes the end and allows the beginning to move forward. But also at this moment, we journey home. Shiv Baba leads the way, and the Shaktis go with Shiva back to that world of light, our sweet home, the home of silence, the home of purity, the home of light. I stay in this world of light, in my incorporeal form, in my incorporeal home. But now I come back, adopting my subtle form of Shiv Shakti, and I keep this subtle Shiv Shakti form even as I step back into the physical dimension, onto the world stage, totally aware and alert, knowing what I must do now. Om Shanti.
शक्तियाँ आ गई धरती पे शिव शक्तियाँ आ गई धरती पे शिव शक्तियाँ आ गई घर घर में होती है जिनकी पूजा घर घर में होती है जिनकी पूजा चेतन में वो देवियाँ आ गई चेतन में वो देवियाँ आ गई शिव शक्ति आ गई, धरती पे शिव शक्तियाँ आ गई। बन ज्ञान गंगा वो खिलाए, बन ज्ञान गंगा वो अमृत पिलाए, वो माँ बन के उमंग को बढ़ाए, वो माँ बन के उमंग को बढ़ाए, वो सर्व की प्यास बुझा रही है, वो सर्व की प्यास बुझा रही है। शिव शक्तियाँ आ गई, धरती पे शिव शक्तियाँ आ गई।